I see those animals are out of the picture. Can we stay now? Or are you going to turn on us next? I don't want to take charity from some stranger. But I will. For the sake of my daughter, thank you. We'll get going as soon as we've got our things together.
All right. You won. You won. What more do you want from me? At long last. I've got so much to do now, I'd really better get on with it. Excuse me, would you?
Oh, gods! Are they gonna see it? What happens if they don't see it? Yes! Oh, goodness, yes! I am a good dog! Fantastic stuff! Oh, yes, you're lovely. You can come back.
Turn back, citizen. No passage in this direction. It's bloodier than a butcher's backyard out there. Piles of dead absolutists, and a few of our own as well. The cultists assaulted the gate, armed to the teeth trying to break in. They nearly had it too, before the Steel Watch intervened. A little more than that. You'll see for yourself soon enough if you head to the city.
My! The fates move in strange and scrumptious ways. I am delighted to see you again. After our little interlude at last light, I was worried you'd gone quite mad. Did it? I'm not so sure. I'm not in the city yet, you see. I'd quite like to get inside. But it's difficult to shuffle your way to the top of the queue when you're, well, as big as an ox. But what if I was smaller, more discreet? Maybe then a kind soul might bring me through, right in their little pocket. I don't think you want to travel this road, my friend. Pity. I would have looked upon you with mercy, if the time for such things ever came to pass. You've changed your mind about helping me into the city, haven't you? I assure you, you do not. Ooh. This day has ended so much better than it started. Now, you don't worry about me. I'll be a good, quiet little apple you can tuck into the corner of your pack, just until we're inside the city walls. Hail, Cyric! I can't wait to get inside.
Can't give up now.
Look, I really don't have time to chat. I'm sure you can find someone less busy to listen to you somewhere. Thank you so much for your interest, but it's really none of your concern, is it? Excuse me.
Worm's Crossing, the gaping maw of the city. Nature has little control over what happens beyond that bridge.
Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? You were really nice to me before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming, could we maybe stay here?
Absolutely not. We've hit our quota for mangy strays.
Yes! You've got a fire and everything. I can cook really good. Whatever you want. Thank you, thank you.
I'm just a cat. Please, talk to Yenna. I don't like talking. Yenna is my best friend. She's kind. Help her, not me. Nothing good, I don't think. She was so very sick. Maybe she made like a cat and went off to spend her last life. Please don't.
Oakfather preserve you. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well. And Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
Worm's Crossing, the welcome mat of Baldur's Gate. This is it. I'm almost home. I won't lie. The thought hardly fills me with glee. Even with my newfound advantages, he's still an incredibly powerful vampire. But he's arrogant, too. If he does hear I'm back, he'll try to take me and expose himself in the process. Then I'll be able to strike. Neither will I, darling. At least I hope you'll come along for the show. But regardless, the plan is simple. Find him, stop him from gaining almighty power, and then really enjoy killing him. And if I can seize that almighty power for myself, well, all the better. I'm all pointy ears, my love. I don't know, but isn't it nice not to know? You're not a victim, not a target, not just one night it's better to forget. But then, whatever in the world could you be?
Worm's Crossing. We could be inside the city walls before long. And I could be back where this all started. I hope so. So long as I'm willing to stroll right into the Mother Superior's trap, they have no reason to not tell me where to go. Not quite. Above all else, protecting our base of operations in Baldur's Gate was the reason I had to surrender my memories to begin with. Or at least, that's what I was led to believe. We should look for someone to point me in the right direction. Otherwise, we'll have little recourse but to wander the whole city searching. Worm's Crossing is a choke point. If I wanted to intercept a new arrival, I'd find somewhere before the bridge, blend in amongst the crowds, and wait. Most people seeking entry to the city will be refugees. I'd look wherever they're gathering.
Naughty, 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 little master. You have disobeyed your father's wishes one time too many. For she who fights with monsters should look to it that she herself becomes a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Another will embrace what you have rejected, and that other will be your death. But your father loves you dearly. You may reinvent yourself yet. Slaughter your line. Become the last of your name. Lord Baal shall have but one chosen.
Memories flood back, snatches of your story written in the blood of 1,000 victims. Years spent in worship of Baal, leading his savage congregation in prayer, sacrifice, and slaughter. You were their master, and he was yours. A cruel master, a dread lord, a devoted father. All is as you feared. You are a spawn of Baal, his heir, his scion. You are not the last of your name. Not yet. There is another. The abomination wrapped in flesh you saw in the colony. Orin, it's time for a family reunion. But be wary of your confessors. Will friend turn to foe, knowing what you are?
Oakfather preserve you. You are a mortal child of Baal. Be careful with whom you share that fact. I hear many of your kind have met premature ends.
The urges are calling on you again, aren't they? I haven't seen you sleep through the night once in the past days. Well, it certainly sheds some light on the sleepless nights you spent tied up trying to slit my throat. Bloody hells. A Baalspawn. Probably more Baldurian parents scare their children with stories of your kind than mine. I thought your kind was extinct. Goes to show, you should always check your facts. So, how are you feeling? Keen to reconnect with your family? Or ready to throw yourself in an oubliette? You know, I didn't realize you and I were so alike. I felt paralyzed to do anything about Cazador for so many decades. I gave up on myself. I gave up on any hope of escape after a few lashes. Baal controls you in much the same way. I don't know how you could beat him, but I do know this. You must try. The half-life of a mind-addled slave is worse than death. Don't become his. I wouldn't live another century as one for all the moonstones in Everesca.
Go ahead. I'm listening. A Baalspawn? Gosh. I know what it is to have a closer connection than most with the gods. But with Baal, that's not a bond I'd like to be bound with. You should be careful. Very, very careful.
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious. I suppose that makes you quite remarkable. Though not in a way I'd envy, perhaps. From what little I can recall hearing of Baal's mortal children, not all succumb to his influence. Perhaps you can still resist your nature, if you want to.
Always good to talk, my friend. Hells. It explains so much. Listen to me. I knew another like you. Gorion's Ward. One of Baldur's Gate's great heroes. Baal's blood ran through their veins too. They burned away their own darkness with their own inner light. They chose courage. They chose honor. And so can you.
Hey, soldier. That's a heavy weight. I know you can carry it, but it's heavy all the same. You are so much more than your parents. You're more than the affliction that wants to consume you. You are my friend, and you get to choose your destiny. Choose well, all right? Please.
Watching gods. But I never thought I would be happy to see the city again. Much less to smell it. The Harper safe house I spoke of is on the bridge at Worm's Crossing. Danthelon's dancing axe. Soldier. The year, Tenir. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. But to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. I'll mete out the best ones, bit by bit, so you always have a reason to keep me around. Clever, right? Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about? Soldier. Let's hope Dammon is as good as he seems. Once my engine's handled, I can focus on more important matters. Tadpoles, cults, frosty pints. Gives me energy, power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, Enticed? I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, and start making up for lost time. But not today. Hey, soldier.
Yes! We need to go find Dammon. I'm going to get a hug soon!
We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. But she favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride. He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemies. Seemed like easy money, so I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I liked that. Not like that, you know. Just... it felt like a good fit. I kept him safe and he paid me well. Well enough to move into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him, trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zariel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. One minute I was in Baldur's Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid. The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zariel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new machine, and he said I'd be able to handle it. He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard.